my phone buzzed at 2 a.m. It was her, the same woman who had stood by and watched me fall apart, who had smiled to my face while destroying everything behind my back. She was crying. He had left her. And after 5 years of silence, she wanted me to comfort her. I looked at that message for a long time. Then I typed my reply, put my phone down, and slept better than I had in years. Sarah and I had been friends since we were 22. We met at a terrible office job, the kind where the coffee machine is always broken and the manager takes credit for everything you do. We bonded over bad coffee and worse bosses, and somehow that turned into 8 years of friendship. She was the first person I called when I got promoted. She was there when my dad got sick. She held my hand through every hard thing life threw at me, and I did the same for her. When she finally left her ex, a man who had made her feel small for years, I was the one who helped her pack. I drove the boxes. I sat with her on her kitchen floor while she cried. We were the kind of friends who didn't need to explain ourselves. We just showed up. So when we both ended up pregnant at the same time, both single, both terrified, it felt like the universe had planned it. We're going to do this together, she told me. 2 mamas, 2 babies. We've got this. I believed her. I really believed her. Our due dates were 2 weeks apart. We spent those months texting constantly, comparing symptoms, sharing baby name lists, sending each other middle of the night voice messages when neither of us could sleep. It was the closest I'd ever felt to another person. Then lockdown hit. Suddenly the world shut down, and it was just me and my newborn daughter in a flat that felt very, very quiet. I'd message Sarah, and she'd reply, but something felt different, less warm, more distracted. I told myself she was just tired. New baby, same as me. But then the replies started getting shorter, then slower, then sometimes not at all. I noticed other things too. My ex, we'd ended things before I even knew I was pregnant, had completely disappeared from my daughter's life. No calls, no visits, no support. And yet somehow he was showing up in Sarah's stories. A coffee here, a walk there. Once a photo of her daughter with a caption that said her favorite person. I told myself it was nothing. I was exhausted and hormonal and probably imagining things. I found out the truth from a mutual friend. Not a dramatic confrontation, not a confession, just a quiet message that said, I thought you should know. They've been together since before the babies were born. I read that sentence 4 times. Before the babies were born, which meant while I was pregnant, while she was holding my hand and telling me we were in this together, while I was crying on her kitchen floor about being alone. She already knew. She had already chosen. He had been there for her baby's birth. He had taken her on holidays. He had been playing the role of devoted father to her daughter while his own child had never once heard his voice. And I sat with that for a long time. And then it got worse because they didn't just move on. They decided I was the problem. Suddenly there were rumors, things being said about me to our mutual friends that I was unstable, difficult, that I had driven him away, that I was using my daughter as a weapon. I was in the middle of the worst postpartum depression of my life. I had PTSD. I was barely sleeping, barely eating, trying to hold myself together for a baby who needed me. And the 2 people who knew exactly how vulnerable I was used it. One by one, our shared friends went quiet. Invitations stopped coming. The group chats I'd been part of for years suddenly felt cold. I have never felt so alone in my life. There's a specific kind of pain that comes from being betrayed by someone who knew your whole story. Sarah knew everything. She knew what he had done to me. She knew how hard I'd fought to leave. She knew about the nights I couldn't stop shaking, the mornings I couldn't get out of bed. She used every single piece of that knowledge against me. And the worst part, for a long time, I questioned myself. Maybe I was unstable. Maybe I was difficult. Maybe I had done something to deserve this. That's what betrayal does. It doesn't just hurt you, it makes you doubt your own mind. It took therapy, it took time, it took learning to trust myself again. But slowly, I rebuilt. I found a job I loved. My daughter started walking, then talking, then laughing at everything. I made new friends, quieter ones, steadier ones. I stopped waiting for an apology that was never coming. I stopped thinking about either of them at all. 5 years passed, and then at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, my phone buzzed. It was Sarah. He had left her. Not just left, he had done to her exactly what he had done to me. New woman, disappeared. Suddenly too busy for the daughter he had once paraded around like a trophy. Sarah was devastated, blindsided, couldn't understand how someone could just walk away. She said she had nobody to talk to. She said she missed me. She asked if we could speak. I read the message once. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel anything complicated at all. I just felt very, very clear. I typed my reply. Funny how that works, isn't it? Put my phone down and slept better than I had in years. I'm not going to tell you I'm proud of that reply, but I'm not going to pretend I regret it either. Some people come into your life to teach you something. Sarah taught me that the people who know your pain the best are sometimes the most dangerous ones to trust. She also taught me that time has a way of evening things out, not because of anything you do, but just because of who people are. He showed her exactly who he was. She just had to wait her turn to find out. So I want to ask you something. If you were me, if the person who had done all of this came to you 5 years later, broken and asking for help, what would you have said? Was this reply too cruel, or was it more than she deserved? Tell me in the comments.